Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm reviewing the Fiskars QuikDrill. So what is it? Well, it's a soil auger primarily designed for garden related tasks, whether that be planting plants, putting in bulbs or putting in fence posts, that sort of work. It uses a very simple corkscrew system to create the hole. This small corkscrew on the end bites into the ground, and then you have the main cutting blades here that actually cut the hole. So in this case it's 100mm blades, so 100mm hole, but there are other sizes available and you can buy those separately and they cost about £30 per blade set. These blades actually do the cutting, and what you do is you twist it down to about this point here, then you'll lift it out so that the soil can come out, then put it back in, twist it down, and repeat the process till you get to the necessary depth. It costs between about £60 and £80 here in the UK. It's primarily a metal construction, so you've got this elliptical metal handle which goes directly into the auger itself, and then you've got these cutting blades which are attached to the shaft via some nice big chunky fixing points, so it feels like it's nice and solid. And then the handle itself is a fibre comp handle which you'll find on a lot of Fiskars tools. It's nice and lightweight but super strong, and it's nicely fixed in on that metal shaft as well, so it's not going to go anywhere. Its overall length is about 111 centimetres, and I will flash on screen the weight as well. I bought this as a bit of an experiment for primarily planting bulbs, but also potentially planting plants if I liked it. I wanted to try something different because fundamentally bulb planters I've used have just failed, whether they be cheap ones that just bend or are just ineffective, or extortionately expensive ones that are still not very effective. I've not found one that works, so I was looking for a different option, and I've seen how augers work before and how effective they can be, so I wanted to give it a go. It does work surprisingly well. I must admit I was quite surprised how effective it is. Even in the hardest or stoniest soils, this blade here just goes in so easily, and it cuts a hole relatively easily, not quite as cleanly as Fiskars show on their little video on this tool, but it still does a pretty decent job, and I've used it on clay soils, stony soils, sort of loamy soils. And you know, obviously you get a bit of infill, but it still fundamentally works on pretty much any soil type. Certainly when you compare it to sort of smashing your wrist against a solid clay soil with a big chunky spade, this is a lot easier. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to try something like this. Obviously the physical demands of bulb planting potentially when you've got thousands to plant, but also spades can be quite ineffective, particularly on like tough ground. You're trying to create a hole that's far too big really, and if you're doing it in amongst borders and things like that, you create a lot of soil disturbance, a lot of spoil heap, and it's sometimes difficult to actually get the amount of bulbs that you want into a border. And that's where something like this that causes minimal soil disturbance, and you can just dot it through and work your way through a border so much more easily and so much less disturbance to that soil. I will be carrying on using it for bulb planting and in specific situations, and potentially I will be getting the different size blades and maybe even try planting plants with it. I will of course leave a link to this in the description if you want to check it out or any more information about it. And if you did like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing for more videos like this. And that just leaves me to say thanks again for watching. Bye for now.